So this is Becky. It's a brand new start to this channel. This is Divine Catalyst. Sorry, I just have a 7-month-old puppy. My sister's trying to keep her entertained while I do this. But you might hear her barking in the background. Anyway, back to the reading. So I'm doing a pick a card. As you can tell by the title, it's is he still thinking about me / does he still care? Now I say he when I talk about when I'm talking about the masculine and feminine, I use he's and she pronouns. That's just because that's the way I view it, and I'm straight myself, so when I'm talking about my significant other, it's a man when I'm talking about them. Now, obviously, I'm putting this out to the masses, so what applies to me doesn't apply to you. I just want to say it here and now that ignore any of my ramblings when it comes to speaking specifically about gender. You know, this is really non-binary. I'm talking in like 5D realms, so in the soul, and, you know, more like divine masculine, divine feminine kind of ways, where the soul does split off, and you can be the same gender, because souls can reincarnate into the same gender and still be, you know, a divine feminine and a divine masculine. So, just, like I said, here I am rambling, but please don't take any of my pronouns to heart. Just take what resonates and get rid of what doesn't. So, going on, this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I know you can't really see them, but we'll work on the setup situation a little later. This is just a very first reading, so I'll give you a second to look at them. I mean, obviously you've probably had some time to stare at them because that's all you can see, but I'll give you a second of silence to just take a look at these and pick which one you want. Obviously we're going to be starting with pile 1. Okay? Alrighty, so we're going to start with pile 1. Now, just so you guys know, this was all pre-shuffled. I don't know what's in these piles beforehand. I'm just finding out as you guys do, so I'm just going to lay them out. And I do have decks prepared in case we need some clarifiers. So for ourselves, somebody else. Sorry if I just start randomly singing, guys. I receive messages through music, and sometimes songs will just pop into my head, and I won't even be able to start coming out of my mouth. So I apologize. Into the reading. First things first, I want to say that this is definitely a twin flame connection. I mean, we have two cards that literally make it crystal clear what kind of connection this is. This is my twin flame card in this Nyx Hydra, the Arcana tarot deck. If you haven't played that game, I highly suggest you do. Beautiful cards, and the fact that they made it a real deck is absolutely amazing. And then this is my twin flame card in the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck. This is the Two of Fire. And now this is my twin flame card because look at how crystal clear these girls are. I mean, they're complementary, like, they're just so complementary to each other. I mean, she's got the lighter lip color and the darker lip color here, and they look just alike, but they're just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Anyway, done with my rambling and loving on my tarot decks. Let's get into the tarot reading. So, I'm gonna pick you up so you can see the full reading just for a second. Back down. This might take a second. Alrighty, so I want to say first, you guys, the person, as in the person that's watching this reading right now, you know what this connection is. You know, it was the first card that popped up there. Very first one. Intuition. You know, you instinctually know, like your gut is telling you, your spirits are screaming. You know what this connection is. You know this is a destiny. This is part of your destiny. You're walking your path. Now, your divine masculine is stalking you on social media, not in person. You see, but he's doing it in secret. You see how there's the moon in the back there, and then you have your beautiful blue jay, or at least I think that's a blue jay. I could be wrong, but it's also shrouded in these veils here. He's carrying this burden, and the wind's bringing him in. Just kind of like he'll go through these moments where he just can't resist and creeps in just like the dawn. Now this is the Magician. He's my manifestation card. So it could be that your divine masculine is manifesting, or actually I hear that you are the one manifesting him into your life. You're trying to bring him towards you. You're doing little spells, maybe searching up on the internet how to get him to contact you because you just want to speak. So this is definitely for a pair that's not in communication, obviously. Why else would he be stalking you on social media? No, I'm hearing that he, with this 5 of Pentacles, has just come into a really hard time financially. You know, he's struggling. He's struggling with money a lot, like, and he doesn't want to come into your life. Like, he's accepting defeat. He's in pain and sorrow. Intellectually, he knows that he wants to be with you, but he feels like he has to let you go, you know. I kind of wish this was red, because this is feeling like the tie of fate wrapping around him. See how he doesn't even have to hold it, and it's just always there. But these swords and the pain, like, look at that anguish in his face. He doesn't want to let you go. This is communication. This is defeat, though. You know, it's the air signs, you know. This is Libra, Aquarius, and, why is it the third one always escapes me? Gemini. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. You know, he's in pain. He doesn't want to not talk to you. But he just can't right now. He doesn't ever want to hurt you, and he feels like if he comes into your life right now with him not being ready, with this financial struggle, he's just going to be a burden to you. I feel like maybe some of them are perhaps in a third-party situation, and that, you know, you guys talk to each other. you guys periodically talk to each other. You know, sometimes you can't help it. You can't resist anymore, and you reach out to him. And, you know, or you're stalking him. Maybe you're both stalking each other. That's, you're creeping on his page just as much as he's creeping on yours. That's why the divine are sitting up here in this bird just watching. You know, you just got so much love for each other, but if he is in a third party situation, let's just get a quick clarifier. Ooh, that's too many. Too many. Just want one. So takes a little let me die. Okay. Guess that one's it. The Queen of Pentacles. So, this is a third party situation. He's with her for the money. She helps him a lot financially. You know, he's kind of like sugar baby to sugar mama. So she's got herself kind of situated and financially stable, just like you do, but he'd rather put the strain on her than he would on you. We also have our Two of Cups here. This is my, like I said earlier, twin flame card in this deck. And the Two of Cups talks about new love that's coming in. So, with that manifestation that you're doing, you're going to be bringing in this message to you. I hear for some of you, you kind of some of you are walking away from this. Or you're trying to. Like you know, some of you, the Ten of Swords is for you. The people that are watching this video. You're feeling this. You're in pain. Like you don't want to let go. But you've tried contacting them so many times. So many times. And it's just resulted in pain for you. That you're trying to walk away. You know, your intuition and everything tells you that if you just keep holding on, you're not going to get anywhere. And for some of you, that's the right choice. Like, walking away, there's no shame in that. Right now is just not the right time. And sometimes, when you love something and you let it go, it comes back to you on its own. So it's okay to walk away, to take this defeat, to move on. You know, your High Priestess, this is, once again, your intuition, your High Priestess. Or at least I believe, yes, that's the High Priestess. You're always going to be the High Priestess. You're always going to, you know, retain your level of intelligence. It's not like without him or without this connection, you stop being who you are and who you've worked hard to be. It's not like, should you be with somebody else and have a connection with somebody else, that everything's gonna stop working out for you in your favor. You know, that's not the case at all. Just like they can move on and they can walk away, you have the same free will too. Now, since you're here in this video, you don't want to. You definitely don't want to. You're kind of just holding on for that last string of hope. And I'm here to tell you there is hope, but it's gonna take some time. Like, he might be, I don't want to promise anything, but he might come back in August. Just because if this is his defeat here, but you know, that financial strain is really difficult right now. I mean, he's only at 5 of Pentacles. He's not even working. Like, I mean, he could be practicing his craft with the Magician, but I feel like that's more you. Like, you've been trying to manifest contact with him. And all it's been successfully doing is, you know, bringing in his eyes to your social media. I mean, he's not checking your Snap stories or your Instagram stories or your Facebook or anything that, like, you know, shows you when he checks it. He doesn't want you to know that he feels you and he thinks about you, but he does. However, you do have the 5 of Wands here. So, you know, this is competition. That's another reason why I felt like this could be a third-party situation. But competition, when it tries to beat you down, you know, it just gives you the chance to prove that you're worthy of something, you know, that you can rise above it all. It doesn't matter whether the path you take twists and turns and you have all of these different areas where somebody is attacking you. You can still come out ahead. You're still going to be victorious. He's still your twin flame. You know, the cards are making that plain. Obviously, you still have to account for free will, but he's still yours. This is your guys' destiny, nobody else's. So even if it takes a long time, even if it takes years, it's going to happen. Some of you, it'll take months. Some of you might take weeks. Others, it'll take years. But there are things and lessons that you both need to learn before, you know, there are things and lessons. This is the Hermit that you both need to learn. You know, you gotta look inside yourself. Gotta open up your third eye for some of you. And if your third eye is open, stop ignoring those messages that are coming in. You know? You know? And your King of Cups is coming. You know? He does have a cup. He's always going to carry it for you. You know? He is always going to carry this cup for you. And you don't ever have to worry about there being a time where he doesn't love you, because the Divine don't do that. The Divine don't give you something that you can't get over when they let them move on without it. If you're sitting there thinking about it, they are too, because, you know, your 5D always wants to be in connection, so they're always going to make you in the 3D feel and sense these things. So if something's been persistently hanging around it for you and your feelings, you know, there's just one person, you just can't get over them. You just gotta know about them. You want to know about them. It's not just you. You're not crazy. They have a cup for you too. He's stern. Let's see if I can get you to zoom in on the face. He's stern and serious. But he has a cup for you too. And he's surrounded by all of this gold because it's a divine connection. So, I mean, don't give up. But unless you want to, you know, like if you really intuitively know that you should and you need to give up and you cannot hold on anymore because it's too painful, then it's time to let go. Alright. Alright, so that's the end of deck number 1. So I will see you next time, guys. Wow, I cannot talk today. I'll see you next time, guys. And thank you again so much for clicking on this video. And I hope that, you know, my message did resonate with you. If it didn't, feel free to stick around and watch deck 1, deck 2, or deck 3. Because, you know, just because deck 1 didn't resonate with you, maybe there was other decks that were pulling you, and, you know, sometimes we let our own whims and wills cloud our judgment. So just because this one didn't resonate exactly with you, maybe the next ones will. Alright, I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, so deck number 2. Deck number 2, right here. I'm going to start off. We have the Father. Emotions and intellect. And the 6 of air. The Chariot. Lovers. And we have 3 of coins. Queen of Wands. 6 of Cups. The Queen of Wands. Not the Queen of Wands. The Prince of Wands. Give me a second on this one. I can tell you. It'll come to me. The King of Wands. And the 10 of Pentacles. The Magician, maybe? No, that's not the Magician. The Chariot. You have the Chariot twice. Wow. I don't know. This is the newest deck to me. This is the NYX Hydra Arcane Tarot deck, so I'm still kind of learning them. So bear with me on these guys. But you have the Chariot twice, which is interesting. So I get that he does think about you. You know, this is nostalgia. Maybe this is your ex. And I want to say it's a fire sign, because there's a lot of fiery energy. So, you know, this is our Aries, our Sagittarius, and our Leos. It's a Leo season, ironically. So, you know, fire signs. They're not coming back to you right now, though. They're working hard on a trade. They're learning a trade. Some of them just got promoted to manager of something, you know. Some of them are working out family, you know. Just because it says father doesn't mean they are the father, but, you know, maybe they're the father of your child, or maybe they're just showing and learning how to be father material, so that when they come back to you, everything is, you know, gonna work out and be for the best. I get that you watch his social media, and that, you know, in his social media photos, he's with a kid, a nephew, or his son. And you want to talk to him because you really love how good he is with this kid. You know, he just looks like he is this kid's father, like he's ready to be the father of this child. And maybe he is ready for a family. Maybe he's, you know, he's sitting on his throne. He's doing his work. He's got The spirit's looking out for him, a spirit guide that he follows. But there's still this mist, this unclarity in the background, like he's still uncertain about some things. Very stern. It's very emotional and intelligent. So I'm really feeling like he's a Sagittarius here, you know. He likes to talk to you. He did like to talk to you. Like I said, I think this is your ex, so he is very nostalgic. And you guys are lovers, soulmates. I feel like there's a message coming in. You know, you have the Chariot twice here, which is movement. So either he's coming towards you or you're going towards him. See, but the thing is this lovers, you see how it's got this big heart, but there's separation. Like, there's a big problem here that you guys never solved. It's dividing you, you see. You know, both of you still care for each other a lot. So much love here. But there's just something that you don't talk about that's taking you away from this. It's separating you. You want to talk. You do. You know, you're like two halves of a whole. But you gotta work on balance first. You gotta fix yourselves. Balance your chakras. You see? Colors of the chakras here. It's like he's more awakened than you are. Or like you're the one watching this video, but no, I still feel like he's more awakened than you are. Just because his colors are just so crystal clear. And then the white just kind of fades in. He might come off a little darker, he might be a little misunderstood, but he's more awakened than you. Even if you don't believe it. I'm not trying to upset anybody, this is the messages that I'm hearing. You know, the trade coming in. He's working on the trade. Very passionate. You know, it's very funny that we have the King and the Queen of Wands. You guys are a pair. And you even came together. Two different decks. The King and the Queen. You feel like he's a snake, though. You see that? Look at it. I'm not a fan of snakes. I'm terrified of snakes. But this is a gorgeous one, you know. Look at him. Gorgeous and proud. The King Cobra. I feel like you thought he did some sneaky stuff in the past. Maybe you didn't trust him. He's your match, you know. He's your pair. Yeah, sitting here keeping this one tucked away like it's not part of your reading over here. Because he's working so diligently on his craft, he's coming into his fortune. Like, you guys are coming into your fortune. And then, especially since, like I said earlier, I think this person just got a promotion. Like, he's a manager or something of his own store, or maybe. But he's got he's got his financial situation figured out now. So now he has more time to think about, you know, love and romance and what he did wrong or what went wrong with each other. Because it's not so much that he just did things wrong too. You know, relationships are about both people. And for a romance to fall apart, sure, sometimes it can be just one person that messes up. But most of the time it's misunderstandings that lead to love like this going awry. I'm gonna do one clarifier. Temperance. Sagittarius. I really think he's a Sagittarius. This is a Sagittarius card, but anyways, Temperance isn't just that it's a Sagittarius, but it really solidified for me that, you know, my gut instinct that I'm talking about Sagittarius man here just really made it serious. But Temperance is all about that give and take, you know, it's got fire and water. You have to learn how to mix the elements, you know. Maybe you're a water sign yourself, but you have to learn the give and takes. You can't have too much of one thing and too little of the next. Like, you can't. You can't have a good romance if you don't learn how to compromise. That's what temperance is all about, you know. You're tempering something to make it stronger. And to do that, you have to heat it and cool it multiple times. You have to compromise. You have to... I feel like he lies to himself. He's still much in love with you, like so much in love with you. He still wants you. Like that one song "Love You Anymore" by Michael Bublé. No, that's the song lyrics I'm hearing right now. Just you know the phrase where he's talking about, it goes yeah, I'm just gonna sing a piece and it'll make it better. Let's see. Am I lying to myself again when I say you're not the best I've ever had? Am I lying to myself again when I say I'm the best and you're the bad? It's because I want my knees and I swear that I would change. Anyway, you get the gist. I mean, that off the top of my head, that wasn't too horrible, but like, you get the gist. He's lying to himself. He's keeping things, you know, he's putting on a front so nobody sees the emotional level that he has for you. But he knows that he hasn't gotten over you. It's been years, you know. I really get that, especially with the Six of Cups card. It's a nostalgia, so it's been years. It's not just something that happened yesterday and you guys just broke up. It's been years, like 5 years maybe, like 5 years since you guys broke up. It's been years. But, you know, you have 2 chariots, so maybe you're both gonna move to message each other at the same time. Because one's a very feminine chariot, and then the other one is, you know, very masculine. Over here. But you do have 2 halves of one whole, so, like, maybe both of you need to make moves towards each other. You know, maybe you have to approach him on social media first, or watch one of his stories on social media or something. But yeah, he definitely does think about you. He's very pensive, kind of sitting there like the thinker, you know, very pensive. So I would definitely say that he does think about you, and that he does definitely still care. And that you should definitely listen to that song, Love You Anymore by Michael Bublé, so that you can get a better representation of it than my very pathetic trying to remember how to sing it and what it sounds like. Alright, well, I'm going to move on to number 3 now. So if it didn't resonate with you, I'm sorry. Hopefully the next ones will, or you feel free to stick around and watch number 3, or go back and watch pile number 1, because, obviously, just because this one didn't resonate with you doesn't mean that the other piles will. Will not. Sorry. Doesn't mean that the other piles won't. So thanks again for watching, and just, if there was a lot of it that resonated with you, and then when I started getting to some specifics, like the signs didn't resonate with you, just leave those behind. That's a specific message for somebody out there. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that doesn't mean that the rest of the message wasn't for you. Take what resonates and get rid of what doesn't. Alright, well, bye guys. Okay, pile number 3, here we go. Oh, look at that, starting off good with 10s. Love. Maiden. The Fool. The Hierophant. The Hermit. Page of Cups. 2 of Swords. 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. Alright, I'm going to pick you guys up so that you can see this full reading. I'm going to put you back down, so this might take a second. Okay, we're back. Angle's just a little bit different, but that's alright. It's alright. I feel like you can see a little bit more of it this way anyway. So starting off the reading, we're going to start with Dreams of Gaia ones up here. We have these beautiful intuition cards that we have here. Anything air is always very intellectual. And look at how you're transforming and butterflying. You're awakening. You have your third eye and you're entering that gate. This is like the personification of your higher self. Wings, you're ready to take flight. So that's you right now in a nutshell. And you're working, you have love for each other. Like, this is definitely, there's real love here. There's real love here. I feel like you guys are still in connection. You've kind of pulled away from each other, and you feel a little foolish about this connection, but you're still in connection. You guys still talk. There's never really a time where you don't stop. There's never really a time where you stop talking. But you've got to let your tuition guide you. And there is real love here. There's this Page of Cups along with love itself. Very important. They have these cups, and they are ready to give it to you, Looking at you with admiration in their eyes. They're ready to give it to you. The Hierophant is about marriage, so maybe they're planning something in the future. You have the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. So that's a lot of adversity that you're facing. 9s are right before the end. 9 of Wands is hard work and lots of long hours. But you're going to find, even though it feels like a lot of upkeep and that you're really working on this relationship, you're going to be able to establish your boundaries. And even though you feel taken advantage of right now, maybe you feel like you've been used. Your recent decisions, especially in your recent decisions, you feel like everybody is judging you for things you've made. Maybe you made a drastic move. Maybe you took a break from this person, but And, you know, that's why it fell right underneath the Hermit. And you still carry that love for them. Just because you took a break doesn't mean that you don't still love them. And you know that, you know. You know, you're like a maiden here. That's why this card is here. There's this path. You've walked really far down it. You have. I mean, look at, it's like you're already at the end, and you've only just kind of wondered what's back there, what you've passed, you know, who's this rabbit? And what about this pentacle, you know? Did you want to spend time on yourself financially? But that doesn't mean that you don't have love for them. You need to find self-love. That's what I'm getting. So, you know, it's kind of, Two of Swords is all about judgment and balance beams. You know, she's guided by Libra. So she really tells you to take a second, step back, weigh your options. Don't let go just because you feel like it. You know, and I know that this is about whether or not they care. They do. You know, everything I'm reading here, they care. He definitely cares. But I get that you were the one that walked away. You're the one that walked away from this, and they're the ones missing you. Like, he wants marriage with you, and you're ready to sneak away with. See, look at this. The Hierophant. This is marriage. It's in the church. You have your monks praying. But see how they're separate? He's ready for this, but you're ready to sneak away, you know, take your dog, pack your things, and, you know, leave. You're scared. Maybe you don't like the commitment, and that's the things that are coming under fire, you know. You have people that are like, you've gone so far down this road, why aren't you just getting married to him? Why aren't you staying? Why are you starting over? And just because you're starting over, doesn't mean that they don't care. Obviously, that's not, like, they can be very mad at you, but they still love you. And, you know, the thoughts about it, the reason why you're clicking on this video right now is because your worries with this Nine of Swords. Your thoughts have been keeping you up, you know. The Nine of Swords is typically depicted as somebody riding on the river Styx, you know. You're trapped in a murky area, you don't know where you're going, you're headed out on an intellectual journey, and you know you just need a change. But, you know, you're focusing too much on the fear. See how, like, clouded it all is? You're focusing on your fear of that. You know, if you've already made your decision and you're already walking away, then just know that anxiety, it fades. You know, even if you're feeling trapped right now, negative emotions, they do fade. Life is like a roller coaster. You go up and you go down. That's why you have the wings to fly away, you know? You've already made your decision. You have fire. Just burn those swords away. Just burn those swords away. I think this one is the quickest, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pull some more cards here, because I feel like this message is all about telling you that, you know, there is love here, and that you do still love, but you're the one that walked away, and they do still care, and they have that cup for you. It's kind of like that song Austin. P.S. If this is Austin, I still love you. Or what's a really popular phrase that'll make you recognize it? He figured she'd gone back to Austin. She talked about it all the time. Obviously, I should just stop trying to sing on these things. It sounds ridiculous, I'm sure, but, yeah. It's, you walked away, and now you realize that you love them, and, you know, your actions are under fire. They still care. There's no doubt about that, so don't worry. Yeah. Look at that. We have our King and our Queen of Cups. You guys are a pair. How ironic is that? And in pile 2, we had the King and the Queen of Wands, and now we have the King and the Queen of Cups. You guys are a pair. And just because you needed to swim away, because your intuition told you needed to look back, doesn't mean that they're not still going to be there waiting for you. Like, this is a real love. This cup isn't going anywhere. It's not spilling anytime soon. Alright, well, I have to get going, because unfortunately I have some stuff I've got to do. And I am so sorry that pile 3 was so quick, but it's a very crystal clear message for me. So if you have any questions, I do have a website. I'll link it in the description down below. You can have me, or you can commission me to have a personal reading from me. And we can go more in depth on the questions. And we'll work it out, okay? So if you didn't quite feel like any of your questions got answered, then please don't hesitate to, go down into that description box and contact me, and we'll get to work, or I'll get to work on a reading that's personalized for you. All right, well, see you next time, guys.